Hello, Cancer, Sun, Moon, and Rising, and welcome to November. The new moon and new beginnings that happens for you is in Scorpio at 9 degrees, and this is happening also conjuncting the Sun in Scorpio in your fifth house of love, romance, luck, children, sports, speculations, lottery wins. The fifth house also contains creative self-expression and will be trining over to Saturn and Pisces in your ninth house of publishing, legal contracts. The ninth house rules gurus, teachers, the courts, the law, legal settlements. It's another luck house. The fifth and the ninth are both very lucky houses, so I think this is really beautiful for you, Cancer. Pisces and Scorpio both trine you. This new moon is at a luck degree as well. The ninth degree is the Sagittarius degree and also represents the ninth house as well. There could be stable new beginnings for your children if you have any, maybe even with like higher education. Maybe they got into the school of choice. It could be sports and competitions. This is a very favorable moon for you, especially from 4 to 14 degrees. Some kind of hard work you're doing, especially with Mars moving into your second house of self-worth and then back into your first house in January. You could be working hard and revising or editing something for publication, a podcast, a book, broadcasting, or other creative project that you can reap results from, gains or recognition in 6 months' time by the time of the full moon in Scorpio. Whatever it is you're creating it, be it child or project, there is longevity and strength with Saturn involved in a positive fashion. And again, with Mars sitting over here in your first house, which, will spend a significant amount of time, January, February, March, April, I really do, again, see you working very hard on your physical health, your body, and anything to do with you, basically. On November 2nd, Mercury enters Sagittarius, your sixth house of work, health, daily routines. The sixth house also contains like pets, diets, people that you hire to work for you, healthcare practitioners, herbalists, dietitians, etc. Also, our competition falls here. Venus is here right now at this time and will trine Chiron just as Mercury enters on her heels and trines the North Node in Aries. In your 10th house of career and reputation, your title, father figures, those are all 10th house topics. If you've had any wounds up there in your Aries 10th house or difficulty with father figures, bosses, career and reputation, or a hard time advancing yourself, especially with having Saturn been retrograde, because although Saturn does sit in your Pisces 9th house, Saturn in the natural astrology wheel does rule the 10th house in Capricorn. Now Venus flowing to the wounded healer, Chiron and Mercury trining the North Node of fate at the same time. In that 10th house, there can be a healing and fated, lucrative new job offer, a better, more prestigious reputation or title can come through, a conquering of your enemies or beating out competition for a leading role. Because your sixth house rules enemies and Venus is here protecting you, there could also be a glow up around your visibility in the world. Mars rules both your fifth house Scorpio and that 10th Aries house, and Mars is in your first house of self. But due to the retrograde, we'll spend a significant amount of time there, and I just mentioned that, but it will bounce between your first house of self and your second Leo house of self-worth. So you will definitely be focused on improving that, feeling more secure, increasing your self-care, your physical improvements, your self-image, and also any kind of sovereignty that you want to gain in career, and directing the overall course of your life and work, especially if you have felt that others have been too controlling over you in some fashion. With Mars transiting the first, you can also be starting your own business. You can also be very protective of your immediate family or even be starting a family business over the next few months. But all of these changes will be initiated by you, Mars in the first. You could also secure a government job, Mars ruling the 10th house and going into the second, and Mars will go into the second house, Leo on the 4th. You can also have a business in which you secure government contracts, making income from your creativity. You can make income from your hobbies, attracting love and attention and be in the spotlight for something you are doing, or you just because you might just be appearing more sexy or Aryan in nature, you'll be more commanding in presence as well. And Cancer, you simply won't be going unnoticed over the next several months. Fifth house ruler going into the first. On the 4th, Mars moves into Leo until January 6th, but will retrograde in December and is already in its shadow period. Mars at times over the next few months can be a bit unhappy in Cancer when he moves in there in January. And especially when he's retrograde, Mars is fallen in Cancer but exalted in Capricorn. Mars is also used to being in a fire sign and moving forwards, never backwards. So be careful with things like anger or frustration with your family or with your children. Inflammation is something you need to watch out for. Mars inflames, so watch your health over the cold and flu season. Take good care of your body. Avoid surgery until next May if it can be avoided, especially if you were thinking of anything to do with beautifying around your face or head. Aries rules the head, and Mars naturally rules Aries. Due to the retrograde, the results may not be what you like, so there's just that kind of tip-off. Mars also rules surgeons, cutting instruments, any tool of aggression, as you will. So do your planning and research now for spring elective surgeries, and in particular, I would say May. Focus instead over the next few months on just like building up your muscle. Find a winter activity, one you can do with family on a regular weekly basis to kind of mitigate that negative Mars effects or those negative Mars effects. Sign up for like a ski membership or winter swimming at a YMCA, something for the whole family. And Mars in Cancer would like swimming for exercise. Also Pilates, which can strengthen your core and it can build your muscle. When Mars is in Leo, competitive yet fun sports would be good. So that's now November 4th all the way until, I would say, early January. So Mars in Leo would like really fun things you can do with your family. And that could be like yoga, soccer for your kids, a trampoline park, membership, etc. Last but not least, Mars in the first house makes you more magnetic and attractive. So if you're single, you could be drawing in more admirers. And I'm just mentioning this, through the winter season for you. It will be going back into your first in January. More than one person will definitely be looking your way, even in retrograde. And again, that's happening from January all the way until April. Mars will be in an ongoing opposition with Pluto now, with Mars going into Leo and Pluto into Aquarius, which is already in place now and will be happening throughout the rest of the year. Won't move on until next April when it will fully separate due to the retrograde motion. In simple terms, I am concerned about this opposition with our country being a Cancer sign and Pluto represents the people. Leo are leaders, take it as what you will, but the elections in the U.S. are in early November when this opposition is already happening. And I am worried. I would just say to avoid large crowds. I don't want to scare anyone. And I won't get into mundane political astrology, but there is going to be discord, plain and simple. So again, just avoid large crowds. Be careful of any incendiary individuals and whatnot. Over the next several months as a Cancer, I know you'll be very protective over your family and your children or for children, or you may even move for work due to that early 6th and 10th house activation. And Mars will be in Cancer again from January 6th until April 17th and could be indicating you are moving home and family due to changes in the country if you're American, especially, and if the option for foreign employment comes up. For you, the opposition happens between your second Leo house of banking and your 8th Aquarius house of other people's money. Pluto fully moves in here on the 19th or 20th, depending on where you are. It's another me-we axis, but also it has themes of shared resources, money, death and rebirth. We're talking about independence versus codependence. These are also very sensual houses, the 2nd and the 8th. This could look like an intense reevaluation of shared bank accounts, shared investments, taxes, money you share with another deep partner, a focus on trying to become more independent from a partner, or in other circumstances, you may review where you need to purge old patterns with another or for yourself. There could be power struggles with a partner or trying to balance or reevaluate whether you want to remain in a committed relationship with this 1st and 7th axis, which will also be highlighted, and the 2nd house and the 8th house in high focus over the next several months. If you do cut away from a current partner, know that a future fated love can come into the picture who would also heal you on a significant level. The 2nd and 8th houses are, I mentioned that before, sensual, intimate houses. It's a Taurus Scorpio axis. And Pluto is actually very at home in the 8th house, even if it's not in its ruling sign. So that's one way the energy can play out with a partner is in a positive way. It could be deep merging that's transformative in nature and healing, and there could be a rebirth and intimate bonding, especially if things have been stagnant. This opposition is like a taste of the transformation, or rather a kickoff to the transformation, or maybe even because of it, as Pluto will dive deep into that 8th house, completely overhauling your shared money, taxes, loans, investments, transmuting pain or trauma or secrets if there have been any buried here, and especially topics around intimacy. Pluto rules this house and is at home here, but also rules your Scorpio 5th house. And that's a lucky house for you. It's luck and winning, children, and romance. So over the next 18 years, you can meet a fated and powerful scorpionic type of love, maybe with some flavors of Aquarius there. Maybe one that you start in secret for some reason, but it can also become a transformative love. You can also become extremely wealthy, Pluto in the 8th, but ruling the 5th house. Could be your partner who is wealthy, or you could begin to work for a powerful research company, maybe a scientific research, or you could be dealing with like investigations. Maybe you're a mystery writer, secret knowledge, the occult, tarot, etc. Just throwing a bunch of different ideas out there. On November 11th through December 7th, Venus enters Capricorn, your 7th house of other, serious partner in love or business, but it's also a public house and one of legal contracts. There could be a lightning or working through issues with a partner if there have been difficulties previously. You could be presenting more appealing to the public eye. Financial gains can happen. 7th can represent those contracts. Or you can travel with a partner somewhere near like beaches, water, as the 9th house is a Pisces house. But since Saturn is here, maybe like a mountain Airbnb with a lake nearby, for example. Maybe that was very specific for someone. Venus here will sextile Saturn in the 9th. So this is why I'm bringing up the topic of travel with a love partner. Because Saturn will be sextiled by Venus, and that sextile starts around November 17th, exact on the 22nd, and kind of lingers around until November 26th. So that's kind of right through like the holidays, Thanksgiving and whatnot. So about 10 days, and affects you most from 6 to 17 degrees, sun, moon, or ascendant Cancer. Lending stability, longevity to a love story, or if you're single, you could meet a past life love. Because it's a Saturn-Venus sextile, it could be somebody from an older age group or generation. Also foreign, with that 9th house of foreign places and people lit up. You could also meet through like a seminar, higher education course, literally maybe in like an airport, traveling, hiking, flying, through books, book clubs. Also, these topics could just be a source of pleasure or hobby that you take up now. And you can secure a contract if you're writing a book, for example. Last but not least, art investments can pay off now. 7th house is naturally ruled by Libra, and Venus has come home to her 7th house that she rules. It would be art that is appreciated with time. I see like art, like valuable antiques or foreign art or objects with Saturn and Pisces in the foreign 9th luck house. Definitely could be like foreign art. You can find these objects also, like if you're traveling, like find a piece of art that you find out down the road may be extremely valuable. So you may come also across these things at like a garage sale and find out that they've come from another country and they're worth a lot of money. On the 15th, Saturn moves direct in Pisces, and that 9th house again is being highlighted, maybe lifting like a travel blockage, helping with depressing thoughts or stuck thought patterns. You could make progress with publishing a novel. Just don't sign any contracts and get travel insurance. If you're flying, traveling by car or bus, because Mercury is now fully in shadow and will retrograde on the 26th. So buy your gifts, your travel insurance, sign contracts, all prior to November 8th and earlier if possible. If not, then do so by January 2nd. The full moon will be in Taurus, conjuncting Uranus, affecting you from 20 degrees and up, but it flows nicely to you in an easy sextile. The full moon happens in your 11th house of hopes, dreams, goals, wishes come true, lottery wins, windfalls, large networks of people, celebrities are here, science, internet, humanitarian groups. So these are all some of the topics covered by the 11th house, where you could see some kind of good fortune happening. You could have completed something that is bringing you a windfall, or you could be having some kind of business success with Venus over there in that partnership house. It also can be business. And Venus will trine Uranus, so it will beam over from the 7th all the way over to the 11th house, and that will happen on the 28th of November. And it could be like sudden money win. Just don't blow your bank account on buying lotto tickets, or sudden money gained if it comes from a partner. As the ruler of this moon and Taurus, is Taurus. I'm sorry, the ruler of Taurus is Venus, and Venus is in your 7th Capricorn house. So again, I see some kind of highlight with a partner. Maybe you're finding yourself in the spotlight, but favorably so among a group of people. Maybe you're going viral for something good that you've done or being recognized for a charitable cause. As the moon sextiles you from 20 degrees and up, the moon rules the people and also like women or feminine energy. This could be like through YouTube, Instagram, or any kind of like internet project where this like, surprise fame could be happening from. Maybe you become an online celebrity. Last but not least, with Saturn in a Venus, in a Venus sextile, it's maybe Saturn is in a Venus trine. Oh my goodness. Maybe it's a long-term business idea or a plan with a close partner that is taking off now or moving forward and is tied to your bigger dreams or goals. Saturn is in a Venus sign is what I meant to say. Or Venus is in a Saturn ruled sign. Venus in Capricorn. My God, I'm sorry, I messed that one up. On November 21st, the Sun enters Sag, your 6th house, and sextiles Pluto in your 8th. You could have a desire to work, succeed in work, transforming your health. You could get news of a powerful new position at work, a lucky break, or you're just more determined and purposeful about achieving your goals, but also looking more attractive and magnetic now. The Sun enters Sagittarius in your 6th house on the 21st of November and immediately sextiles Pluto in your 8th. You could have a desire to succeed in work or transforming your health right now. You could get news of a powerful new position at work or a lucky break. You are more determined and purposeful, like about achieving your goals, but also looking more attractive and magnetic. With the Sun in a health and work house, it can glow you up with vitality. Or if you weren't feeling well, the breakthrough comes now, whether it's like a mental, psychological, or even physical. It's a great time to kick a bad habit and do it with ease, and also focus on tackling like chores, organization, clean up for the holidays, the basement, the attic, garage, etc., Pluto areas. And also maybe you're finding valuable items in a clearing out process while purging, grandma's vintage painting or antique watch. And again, that would tie in with that Venus-Saturn sextile, maybe finding something that is old, worth money. On the 26th of November, Mercury fully retrogrades now. It won't be out of shadow and direct until January 2nd. Again, focusing on that 6th house for a while, but I think it gives you a chance at revamping your health, a pet's health, day-to-day routines, people you hire, competition, etc. And I think you'll be happy with the results by the time that Mercury moves on. All right, Cancer, we'll see you in December.